Hi, welcome to this week's My Thoughts vlog. It's Friday the 18th of July 2025. As usual, these are my thoughts alone, nobody else's. It's raw, unscripted, and natural, I hope. So, this week we see a couple of things. We see that the second reading of the Hillsborough Law Bill, presented by Ian Byrne in Parliament this week, has been rejected. The reason for this, don't know. One can only surmise that the civil servants are very afraid that they will not be able to lie in the future, because that's what the bill prevents or seeks to prevent. Um, too many times, I mean, we've seen this with MI5 not so long ago. They were found to have lied in court, and there's no sanction for that, no sanction at all. The watered down version of the draft bill that the government proposed had duty of candour as an objective. Now, it is my objective today to climb Mount Everest. Not going to happen. Objectives you don't have to stick to. But if there's a legal sanction, then you might have to think twice about misleading and lying in courts and inquiries. And this law isn't just about Hillsborough or football or Liverpool or it's not. So it hasn't got that narrow focus. There's live cover-ups happening now. There's the nuclear test veterans, Grenfell, COVID, post office, infected blood, truth about Zane, Gabe's Law, Primodos. I mean, I could go on naming them. Honestly, there's loads. And these are live cover-ups happening right now. Nobody's doing anything about it. I mean, the campaigners are fighting so hard. And the Hillsborough Law, if it's passed, would be so helpful to us. It would help us get the truth, because after all, that's all we really want is the truth. And if people lie to us, then they should get punished. Because isn't that fair? Isn't that what you would want if something were to happen to you in the future? I mean, families get caught up in things that they weren't expecting all the time. Nobody expected Grenfell. Nobody expected the Manchester Arena bombings. Nobody expected COVID. You don't bring these things upon yourself. So you'd want the state to protect you. And at the moment, it doesn't. In fact, it does the opposite. It goes out of its way to make sure you're kept out on a limb, while they can pay for their own legal defences. Shocking. And mentioning cover-ups leads me to my second point. We were told in a meeting with Al Khan, the Veterans Minister, that the government hasn't covered up the nuclear test veteran scandal. There is no cover-up. The government doesn't do cover-ups, never has and never will. And that we were coming at this from the angle of conspiracy theorists. Well, that's a bit insulting, isn't it? We've got stacks of evidence. Stacks. We're not conspiracy theorists. Not in any way, shape or form. I think that shows how scared they are. The fact that they're resorting to accusations like that. They know that we know what's in those files that they're keeping from us. And they're really scared they're going to have to release them. I mean, at the end of the day, all I want to know is, was my dad irradiated? I am 99% sure he was. But how much was he irradiated? What levels? How dangerous was it? What did you do to me, Dad? And has this affected me? Is this why I am the way I am? Is this why my son is the way he is? So, to that end, yet again, I have applied for Dad's medical records. They've come back and said they've had a change in position. They've changed the rules slightly. So I thought, right, let's take your new rules and let's follow them to the letter. So we've done that. I've applied in writing and via email, provided every document they've asked for, had it checked, and checked again. So yeah, I am complying with everything that they've asked for. So let's see where that goes, eh? I don't hold out much hope, but you never know. We may get lucky. So, I think that's it for this week. Apart from to say, I hope you're all having a good week, and I hope, Hope the weekend is good for you. I ain't got much planned, but yeah, I'll see you next week. Cheers now.